everybody. Welcome to the Sports Box on location from a place where, I don't know if I ever want to be here again. We are in Brian's Ranger room for the Sports Box.
I take things seriously.
Where the only opinion that matters is right here, even mobile. I am Mike Gilletta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner Brian, the Ranger Attard, bringing you another just fabulous special you're just going to love on and on and on. Today, we focus on the NHL with the season coming up. Me and Brian are hockey fans. We're going to talk about the New York Rangers today. Ugh, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in the Ranger room. I'm just overcome with blue right now.
This is a great place to be.
If you're a Flyers fan, it's not a good
Talking about some of this.
And we're not going to show you, as you look to the left, you see the Flyers losing to the Rangers. It's just an awful sight. But today we're going to talk about the New York Rangers. Brian, why don't you break it down, give us some lines of the Rangers, and we'll go from there.
So, last year didn't end really the way I think anybody wanted it to. Again, we kind of predicted that on the show last year, that they weren't going to really have a great showing in the playoffs. So it's a new year, new look for the Rangers. A lot of changes from last year to this year. A lot of different faces and a couple that have moved on. You talk about how the team looks going into the season. You talk about some of the line combinations, and it is some of the same people. But again, because you're mixing it up with some of the different players, it looks going to look a little bit different. Obviously, your first line comes back. With Derek Stepan at center, in between Matt Zuccarello, Rick Nash, probably two of their best wingers. Again, Stepan's more of a playmaker, so it makes sense to have him in between that line. Second line, what it looks like here is newcomer Mika Zibanejad, who was acquired from the Senators in a trade for the Rangers for Derick Brassard, which I think was a great deal. I think it's a great deal because Derick Brassard and Mika Zibanejad have very, very similar production, but Zibanejad's cheaper and 6 years younger. So
we'll see.
When you talk about getting younger as a team, and the Rangers now have one of the youngest, if not the youngest forward core in the league, that's a great move.
They are young. I know that.
They are young this year.
Yeah.
Looks like Zibanejad is probably going to be a center between Chris Kreider and also newcomer Pavel Buchnevich, came over from the KHL. Much heralded draft pick. We've been waiting to see him for a couple of years. Curious to see what he does this year. Mike, he's actually in the same line with Kreider because Kreider speaks Russian.
Very nice to know.
They finally got a little bit of a connection there.
No connection.
From that standpoint. Third line is actually really fantastic, and I'll tell you why. So Kevin Hayes is back as your third line center in between surprise last year in JT Miller and newcomer Jimmy Vesey. Jimmy Vesey. Great free agent signing for the Rangers in the offseason. He was a guy coveted by every team in the league. I got to tell you, to get a guy like him for nothing, and a guy like Hayes last year, 2 years ago.
That's a great pickup.
For nothing. It makes up for the fact that you're trading your first-round picks away. So, again, great move there.
And don't hate me because my guy buried Jimmy Vesey. I'm not on board with that.
Ratko Gudas, that was a dirty, dirty hit. I was there live.
Yes.
Should have been suspended for that. You got suspended for something else.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Fourth line's a little different this year. Jesper Fast makes his return to the fourth line, but a couple newcomers as well. Right wing Michael Grabner, former Islander, former Leaf, brings a lot of speed, a lot of PK ability to the fourth line. But a guy who I really love is number 73, Brandon Peary. Brandon Peary was a very low-level signing by the Rangers towards the end of the offseason. He's a guy who's been around the league, pure goal scorer, just on fire in the preseason. And I know it's the preseason, but the guy is a scorer and he shoots.
See, that's kind of a loaded question. Who don't you love on this team? You love everybody.
Oh, I'm getting to the point I don't love. I'm getting to it very quickly.
Okay.
But the offense there, again, I think that's one of the more dynamic, young, exciting groups in the league. It's probably the deepest offensive team the Rangers have seen in quite a while. You know, mentioning Oscar Lindberg, who's number 24, is going to be coming back from injury. We hope sometime in October, November. So that'll be interesting there. So you want to know about the part that I don't like?
Go fire it up.
The defense is god awful.
Ooh.
The defense has got awful. So here's where you are in the defense. So the Wonder Twins, Marc, Staal, Dan Girardi, they're still there. They're going to hold this team back this year. So Girardi, again, he played with a cracked kneecap last year. We're going to see how he does this year. Again, I'm not that bullish on the whole thing. Obviously, Ryan McDonagh is fantastic. Bit of a surprise coming into this season is Adam Clendening, a free agent signing that they made, who's apparently very close to beating out Brady Shea, if he didn't already, to make this roster, pair with Marc Staal in the second pair. Another trade acquisition, Nick Holden paired up with Dylan McElrath in the third pair. And McElrath's been talked about, possibly getting traded as well. Again, it's a really interesting team. Obviously, the goaltending's top-notch, best in the world, Henrik Lundqvist. What more can you say about Henrik? Did you want
I got to cramp my neck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
He's the best in the world. So
Bell, So. He is the best in the world.
Okay.
He's the best goaltender on the planet, and no one can.
I love being down here. It's great.
So listen, again, like I said, forwards are great. Defense is very questionable. Wherever this team's going to be hampered by that all year unless they make a deal to shore that up, and it's going to be an interesting year for the Rangers.
So, what kind of impact do you think Jimmy Vesey is going to make this year as a rookie?
So again, I think he could be a 20-goal scorer. I think that's probably his ceiling. I don't want to go in there and make expectations on the kid as his first year, but. You know, again, to get a guy like him for nothing, you pair him up with Kevin Hayes, who they're friends. That that's probably one of the main reasons Vesey came to the Rangers. That's a hell of a third line. I mean, that could be a second line in most.
I agree with Jimmy Vesey. You really got to. I don't want to say you treat him with gloves and everything, but you got to put him with the right people.
Sure.
To make him the right person.
Absolutely.
Put him out there expecting to do everything himself. That's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
Because this team is young, like you said, defense a little shaky, but you put Vesey with the right player. I'm definitely jealous. I definitely think he's going to be
I'm pretty sure the average age of the forwards is the youngest in the league. And
you got to be right about 20 something.
I think younger than that. I mean, really, the only one of the forwards that's over 30 is Rick Nash. So that's a young group for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Klein's starting well.
Well, Kevin Klein I didn't mention as part of the defense because he's injured, so he's not starting the season with the team. That's the only reason McElrath I think is going to stay is because Klein isn't ready to play yet.
And the best goalie in the world starting for.
The best goalie in the world. Well, now, yes, having said that, so clock's ticking on this group.
Yes.
As I've said before, Lundqvist is the main reason this team goes anywhere they're going to go. He is the best goaltender in the world, and I don't shy away from that. If you watch him play,
definitely don't shy away
if you watch him play, I mean, I shudder to think what this team would be without him. It's. In a way, it's kind of a transition year for the Rangers, which it sucks to say, being that your goalie's 34 years old. But with the expansion draft coming next year, I think if not both, of Staal and Girardi, this is going to be their last year in New York. I think one gets bought out just because they can't afford to protect both. But listen, they're building something here. For a team that has been panned for, the Rangers are old, they traded away their draft picks, that's a hell of a young team you got right there with a lot of forwards, a lot of depth. Again, I think the future is bright up front. We'll see how it goes on the back end.
Yeah, I think Rick Nash needs to make a big impact because the clock's ticking on him too.
Sure.
32 years old.
Sure. Right? He was just named assistant captain for the first time. Alternate captain. That's the exact term. I think his time in New York is coming to a close one way or another. Yep. Because again, I just think that's a guy who at his salary, when you have younger guys. So again, you talk about contracts for next year. So Zibanejad is going to need a deal. Guys are going to need money. You look at what Tampa's having to do right now with their contracts. The Rangers are not in the best cap situation. Again, they're young, but these aren't cheap players. So
a lot of guys up next year.
Yes.
Prediction.
So they're a playoff team for sure. I think they're in a very hard division behind two powerhouses in Washington and Pittsburgh. So I think their ceiling is third. I think their floor is fourth. I think they're definitely a playoff team. I think they're improved from last year. I think last year was just a really weird year. They couldn't really get it together. Come November, it was just a very, very up and down year for them. Again, the defense is going to be a problem all year. You're going to have to see Lundqvist bail him out, as he always does. They're definitely a playoff team, but the fact of the matter is I think they're going to struggle to get out of the first round because if you have a matchup against Pittsburgh or Washington, that's not really in your best interest, especially Pittsburgh. But the Rangers have beaten both these teams in the playoffs before. I don't think they're going to do it again, but they're definitely a playoff team. If they find a way to get into the other bracket, into the Atlantic Division, maybe they go a little further. It's really as far as Lundqvist takes them. I'll tell you that.
We will see. It'll be very, very interesting about Will Lundqvist, but the best goalie.
Best in the world.
Best in the world. But anyway, that's our Rangers special. I want to thank Brian. Oh, you're always on the show, so I can't thank you. So I'm not going to.
Welcome to my humble abode.
Yeah, this is great. So anyway, Flyers fans, thanks for the Rangers room. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We got some good stuff coming.
And of course, to see more videos just like this, we're on Twitter @SportsBoxShow. Email us at thesportsboxshow@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook where our videos are posted. But of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel because you want to see more specials right down here in the Ranger Room.
We will not be in the Ranger Room that much. I can guarantee that. If not, he'll be rolling solo. So, as a Flyers fan, thank you for watching. And my special will be coming up soon. So, at SportsBox, the only opinion that matters, right here. Thanks for watching, folks. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.